It's kind of interesting what God is doing in the house ministries, and I want to encourage. It's going like God is doing things all over the place. Like the more that I dial in and I turn on like even some social media watching the sports, I was always a kid. I'm like, when will the cool people, like you guys are all really cool, but like, what I mean is like the NFL people and the athletes and the hockey players and the coaches and these, like the people that the world idolizes. When will those people like start giving their life to the Lord? Like I idolized Wayne Gretzky. That was a way long time ago. Now he's just an old soul. But I idolized him. But yet I worry, where is he now? Walking with the Lord or not? Right? That's more my concern. But the exciting part is what we're seeing today is God is doing something all around, and transformation is taking place, and people are giving their lives to the Lord. Musicians that are talking about Jesus, or Jelly Roll, praise God. I'm still trying to have Jelly Roll here, but anyway, they're contemplating, but I don't know if you guys are ready for the F-bombs, but anyway, freedom. He's talking about becoming a pastor. I'm like, all right, we got some work to do. But what the exciting part is what God is doing, because even, for example, tradition. Who likes tradition? Okay. Because tradition is, there's a richness and there's an inheritance to it, but there's also something that comes where you get comfortable. For example, it's like, we always, no, I won't, that sound like, we always got to play those songs and those hymns and it's like, yeah, we can play those songs, we can play those hymns, we can play whatever song you like, send it to me, we'll play it. It's giving God all the honor and glory. But what happens is, all of a sudden, people will hear a different song, and they're like, well, that's too loud, I can't sing that song. Or that's too quiet, I can't sing that song. I'm like, are you ready for God to move? Because my heart, I tell you, that this storm and what's going on and the pressing on, I'm just stirring, like God's moving all around. I was like, do we really want to fight for tradition? Or do we want to lay it all down, trust God, and say, whatever you want to do? Because, like, for example, this Christmas Eve service, was it different? I don't know. But the cool thing was, there was at least 2 people that gave their life to the Lord and want to get baptized. And one guy made it in today. Yeah. So the interesting thing is, so what I'm trying to help us as a body grow and learn and say, God, what do you have for this place? Because not to say what God's doing in other churches is wrong. That's not what I'm saying. Well, next door, those Mormons, they need a new book. Or just throw out the one and read the one. But you know what I mean. But it's like the churches that love God with all their heart, mind, soul, and strength, read the instruction manual from Genesis to Revelation. God bless them. God bless them. God's going to use them and build them and bring people in. But, for example, why are we different? Well, look at us. We're all different, but God's doing something. So what God's going to do in this place is bring people in, like the young lady just came back from YWAM, who was in India. There's another young man just came from YWAM too. From where'd you come from? Timbuktu? Greece. And here I am in Hawaii praying. I'm like, God, please send somebody from YWAM to Towville. Oh, isn't that crazy? Ding, 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 ding. Kind of interesting. So what God's doing is, like, my heart here is that souls will come into the kingdom because of what we as a body are doing. So the songs might be different. The songs might be a little traditional, or they might be quiet. They might be. How we position our heart is what's important, right? All of a sudden, what grabs the younger generation's attention, that it's like, hey, that person loves Jesus. Wow, maybe I can. God will use that as a place to open the door in someone's life and say, you know what? If this person did, it's like encouragement. That's why we got to keep encouraging. God's doing a great thing. And that's what the title of the message will be, on the greater things, because God is going and moving us into the greater. So, the interesting part, it's kind of fun because like baptism is becoming our normal. Hey? So like, what I'm about to share is like, it can be, this is the part where we have to be careful, because tradition can come in and say, hey, I've already read those verses, I've already seen them, it's old news. Not to what we're called to do. If we're called to bring the new in, guess what? It is the new good news today. And it is alive, and allow that same word to speak to you, because guess what? It's not this old guy. See, I'm getting old. Like, we're talking about 2000. That, some of the young people are like, when was that? We're like, it was like yesterday. But no, that was 25 years ago. So what that means is, who else is going to be bringing people into the tank? Who else is going to be bringing people and leading them to Jesus? Who's going to be sharing the gospel? Because that's your responsibility. My job is just to kind of show you how. Let's do this. It's like YWAMers. You guys, you go for training just to lead people to evangelize. Okay, now it's easy when you got 750 guys all jumping up for Jesus. Now try it in Tofield. The people at Tofield are amazing. But they need some new faces. Because they've seen this old guy around. They're like, that's that guy. But when you go, they're like, you're in disguise. Because our boss is the same. Our boss is the same. And we got the same message. We got the same heart. And we're going to lead them to the same God.